Okay, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. So we are at, I believe, episode 97 of Life After High School podcast. I almost forgot my own name there. That's awkward. But so today we have the amazing Jess McShane, amazing contributor to our community, mother of 3 amazing kids, and an amazing business owner. So we dive into all that kind of stuff and a lot more. And here we go, yeah. So Jess, welcome to the show. Thanks for doing this.
Lucky number 97.
Yeah, that's it. I'm pretty sure, but
I'll go with that.
Awesome.
Or lucky number 98.
Perfect. That's I'll stick with it too then. If you believe it, I believe it. So let's start off to give people a bit of context about you and kind of your story. Take us through your journey from, let's start the period like post-secondary school, if you don't mind, to where we are now, and then we can kind of go back full circle.
Yeah, even that was a long time ago. You're pulling me way back. Post-secondary. Okay, so out of high school, okay, back up a little bit, and I'll give you a little bit of framework. I went through high school with a sick mother, so it was very much do what you can.
Yeah.
Do your best. Like, sometimes good is good enough.
Yeah.
And so when it came time to make decisions about where I was going to go and what I was going to do, it was like, okay, what's the easiest way to a piece of paper?
Right.
And at the same time, I was heavy into the sport of rowing. So
cool.
I went to Western, where the national team coach was also coaching the varsity team, and said, if I'm going to do something with it, Western's the place.
Place to be, yeah.
Kinesiology sounds relatively interesting. So that's what I did.
Awesome.
And I hated London.
Yeah?
I hated it.
You didn't like London?
I hated it.
Why is that?
It just, besides rowing, it had nothing for me. I did not want to go to the bars every night.
No, that feels like the only thing to do, eh?
Yeah, pretty much. And the trees and the lakes just weren't there, and I needed them more than I thought.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, stuck it out for 2 years, and then made the move back to Laurentian.
Yeah.
I hope that's not a bad word around here.
I mean, it's definitely a sensitive subject, that's for sure.
It's a bad word in my house. Yeah, and they didn't have a rowing program at the time, so I just stayed in the single and did my own thing and joined the cross-country ski team.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How was that?
It's amazing.
Yeah?
It was like coming home. It's kind of like going back to high school, actually.
Oh, really? Just same kind of environment, same people?
Yeah.
Same coaches, too, or just kind of
yeah.
different?
Yeah, one of the coaches was one of my best buddies' dad, and the other coach was my high school history, geography, and outdoor ed teacher.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Jeez,
so made
that's
some
cool.
Great friends there, and finished my degree, and what did I do after that? See, I'm telling you, it was
it's all a blur up to this point.
Okay, here it is. I had been accepted to Teachers College.
Yeah.
At, can't remember where, inconsequential. But as I was writing my final exams, I was procrastinating and looking for random jobs on the internet, and I found one, a rowing coaching position in Oxford, England.
Whoa.
So I just applied to that instead of writing my final essay or whatever it was at the time, and I got the friggin' job.
Come on, let's go.
I know.
Let's go.
Yeah, well, it sounds cool, but
you went. Please tell me. Obviously.
I went. I definitely went. I went.
No.
In retrospect,
I would have cried.
Oxford, not the place for me again.
No?
No, it was like another London. It was. I just didn't fit. Just didn't fit.
So.
But it provided me like ample opportunity to travel. Because once you're over there, it's so easy.
It's so easy.
So easy. Like 5-pound flights to Ireland.
Like, what is this game that they're playing over there? It's crazy. Here, it's like, I can't go to Thunder Bay without dropping $1,000.
I know.
It's kind of ridiculous.
I know. One time I rented a car and drove from Oxford in
like
more the south,
London?
southwest, mid-south.
Sure,
I don't know. And we drove up north to Wales. And when I told people what we were doing, they're like, "Are you crazy? That's so far." It was like, 4 hours away.
Come on.
You have zero concept of where I come from. But
Wow. That's awesome.
yeah, it was awesome to see all these wonderful places.
Do you have one like memory from that time that stands out above, like a favorite one, and then do you have like a I really wish this didn't happen?
There's no one thing that I wish didn't happen. It was just the general vibe. I mean, it was a private girls' school, very elitist, very
Kind of like preppy vibe, or like
the ultimate.
Yeah,
the
amazing.
ultimate. I just
Amazing.
I didn't jive with most of the staff, but
Right.
they call it a gap year over there. So I essentially took a gap year and took this job, as did individuals from South Africa, from Australia, from New Zealand.
Wow.
And it was the Aussies and the Kiwis that I connected with.
Yeah.
It was great. So I'd have to say those friendships were the highlight. Yeah, I still talk
cool.
to them.
Really?
Yeah. I
That's
just
awesome.
need to get my ass over there.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to do. Like, I was trying to do it when my buddy, one of my good friends, Reese, went in the beginning of 2020, and I knew he was going to be there for at least 2 years. And so I'm like, yeah, I got a 2-year window.
Oh, but you put it off too long.
COVID hit.
Oh.
Yeah, well, he went the second week of January in 2020.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
And
So
then COVID really
March
hit.
is when it became a thing.
Did he stay?
Oh, yeah, he stayed because
Okay.
I think what happened, too, in his situation, because it was a work visa, right? But if you didn't at the beginning of it, so I guess you could be picky, or you could just say whatever jobs this corporation offers you, you then have to not, you have the option then, to either go or say, nah, I don't want to do that. Give me something else. And then the people who did that were like, okay, well, you're sent home now.
Oh.
Because we need people to work in the country, and if you're going to be picky, you can stay where you are.
Yeah, sure.
Whereas he's like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Right away. First job he was offered, he got in the Outback.
Amazing.
Yeah, so he was back in there. It was crazy. He sent me videos every couple days of like kangaroos. And me being me, I was like, dude, go pick one up. Like, put one in here, like, go tackle one, something. I want it. Because I hear kangaroo boxing, and I'm like, I hear these videos, and I'm like, just something great for entertainment purposes is going to happen as soon as you engage with a kangaroo.
Yeah, I've heard that's not such a great idea.
Oh, no, probably not. But I'm just the one pushing motivating that way.
I get it.
But, so from your time in London, or in England, sorry.
Yeah.
How do we get to here? How'd you leave?
I left. I came home. I spent a month at home, and then went to Teachers College at Queen's.
Oh, Queens, nice.
Yeah.
Is that that's 2 years, eh? Teachers College?
No, it was still 1 year at the time. I'm that old.
Jess just dated herself. That's great.
I did.
Amazing. Oh,
Yeah.
That sounds awesome though. Like 1 year?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a decent year.
Yeah.
I loved Kingston. It was I was pleasantly surprised that I could spend time in southern Ontario, southeastern Ontario, and enjoy it. But yeah, it was beautiful.
Okay, so then after the year, where'd we go? Did you come back?
I came back. I applied to the Rainbow District Board, and I had all the best references. I had all the best experience. But I think there were 20 full-time positions in the province at that time. So it didn't happen.
Wow.
I couldn't even get on the supply list. It was nuts.
That tight, eh?
Yeah. So
Jeez.
I said, you know what? I'm not passionate about this.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it to those who are, and figure something else out. Yeah.
Interesting. What I'm wondering about is, at this time frame, because you use the word passion, how'd you know that that's not something you were passionate about?
Well, out of high school, I spent a good amount of time coaching rowing and a little bit of cross-country skiing.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoyed that. It was great hanging out with kids and like watching them learn and improve and grow.
Yeah.
And I felt a connection with that and figured, yeah, that's something I could do with my life. And then I went to Teachers College, and I was working with all the kids who didn't want to be there.
Different ball game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with these kids. I can't solve these problems. apparently this isn't for me. So we'll leave it to the passionate professionals.
So you're in probably mid-20s at this point, eh?
Yeah.
Early mid, roughly?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm wondering then, so from there, take us through kind of full steam ahead to where we are now. Okay, like, take us through that and, like, how the business started and kind of where you went from there.
Oh, yeah, there's so many things between that and the business.
Let's get into it. I'm here to learn and here to listen.
A failed teacher with a phys ed degree from Lawrence. What are you going to do? I don't know. I was freaking out. But at the same time, coming out of Teachers College, actually about 2 months before the end of Teachers College, we lost my mom. So it was a major time of flux and do what you gotta do to get by. So I was back home for a little bit with my dad and my sister and younger brother. Just kind of leveling out and trying to figure out what our new normal was going to look like. And then I went stir crazy pretty fast. Because I was 24. 24.
Yeah.
And ready to not be under my parents' wing and living with little siblings. And so, yeah, now I'm losing all chronology. But anyway, at some point, somehow, I got a summer job at the Sudbury Canoe Club.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And during the summer, I was bored out of my skull.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was surprising because...
I thought that'd be the opposite.
Yeah, so did I. But at the time, at the Canoe Club, people had their key. They would come and go and didn't require anything of
I guess not.
Staff, really. So I was there for emergency purposes, keep the place tidy.
It's probably never happened, the emergency. Any issues?
No, nothing. Yeah, nothing crazy came up in my time anyway.
Nice.
I helped with the kids' summer camp and, filled the time. But it was a year-long internship. So I'm sitting up in my little cubbyhole going, what am I going to do all fall, all winter? Like, I'm kind of locked into this gig.
Yeah.
How am I going to fill this time? So at the time, my dad, my uncles, bunch of family members owned and operated the Lake House restaurant at Science North. I don't know if you remember
cool.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good 5 years, but the restaurant industry wasn't for them.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I feel that's an industry that if you're like ready to commit and you love and you like that's your thing, great. But if there's like the slight inclination of then you gotta step out. Probably best.
It was crazy. It was great to have a place to go. Yeah. But anyway, uncles and family were sitting around and looking out those big glass windows at the bay.
Yeah.
And I come from a very hockey-centric family. So the topic comes up, why doesn't Sudbury have a pond hockey festival or a tournament?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't this be great? You got hockey players down on the bay. You got them coming up for beers. You got... I'm going, I got time.
I can do this.
I got lots of time. I got some skills. Let's do it. So with my time and my organizational skills and my family's relationships and connections, we put together a pretty stellar team and drew up a pretty stellar pond hockey festival. So there you go.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was
you
so
just
cool.
threw an outdoor event.
And it was pretty freaking major. I think the first year we ran it, we had over 100 teams.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry, that could have been the second year. First year was like almost 100 teams.
But still over a couple hundred people there.
Oh, absolutely.
Amazing.
Absolutely. I don't know if you remember the Snowflake Festival.
Yes.
Yeah. So we had visions of the Snowflake Festival in our head in conjunction with this pond hockey tournament.
Right.
So bring the families out, bring the community together, have some events and
Amazing.
activities alongside pond hockey, and just, get out, be together, be a community. Yeah, so that was success. That was a success, and I was pretty stoked and pretty proud of that.
Nice. So from that time, then take us through kind of what was the direction next? Like, how did that kind of fuel the fire into where we are now?
A few more steps.
Yeah? All right, let's go through them. I'm intrigued. I'm curious. I love, understanding people's stories like this.
Well,
It's very interesting to me.
yeah, it's a roundabout route to get where I am, and I'm probably have more roundabouts to come.
Oh, no, perfect.
Yeah. So pond hockey, very much made possible by government grants,
Yeah.
municipal grants, like lots of public money helps,
Interesting. I never
and
would've thought that.
local businesses,
Right.
local sponsors. A good chunk of change comes from registrations, but it couldn't happen without sponsorships.
Oh, no kidding. That's awesome.
And I was making pennies. It's not like they were paying anyone the big bucks to run this thing.
Right.
So, because it was kind of wasn't a city event, but because the city was involved, they saw an opportunity to loop me into another city project, which was the 2010, I'm really dating myself, 2010 Ontario Summer Games.
I remember those.
Yeah?
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
I was, I don't want to do this to you, but I was 14.
So you were a volunteer?
I think so, something like that.
Well, I would have fed you and transported you. And
I'm trying to remember. That was a while. I see what you mean. It's tough to remember. So,
I know, I know. Don't give me
I'm all
years.
asking you for specifics. And,
I
yeah,
know.
no, you're right. You're right. Good on.
Creeps up
Okay.
on you, eh?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, wow, did I? Well, if anything, thank you for the food. So,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, yeah. I'm
So
with you.
I was the logistics coordinator. And under my umbrella of responsibilities was food,
Yeah.
transportation, accommodations,
Nice.
and I think security. Anyway, whatever it
Something
was.
like that,
It was
yeah.
crazy. It was crazy.
Jeez, that's a lot of people.
It was a really big spreadsheet.
Yeah,
I
no
was pretty
kidding.
proud of that spreadsheet.
Yeah? This might be a weird request. Do you have did you have it somewhere in the Twitterverse or the cloud?
Do I still have
yeah.
the spreadsheet?
You must.
I absolutely still have the spreadsheet.
Yeah, you probably have like a hard drive designated just to that spreadsheet. Eh? It sounds
I don't know
massive.
about its own hard drive, but it's
'Cause
definitely in a cloud somewhere.
I know you're extremely busy, but at any point, can you please send me a photo? It doesn't have to be before the. I'm just like
Screenshot that.
They're crazy to me. I'm like, I like seeing what people can do on programs like that. So, because I know what I can do, which is that much. So,
Well, I know even I can do
Just
that
not for
much when
formulas,
it comes
yeah.
to Excel, but I can organize stuff.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I think that's all that matters, right?
I like lists,
Yeah.
and in
Amazing.
Excel you can put
Yeah.
lists in lists. It's great.
Yeah, that's true. And you're entering colors and stuff. Oh, it's great.
Oh, the colors.
Nice.
Yeah. So spreadsheets.
Mm-hmm.
Ontario Summer Games.
Yeah.
That was good.
2010.
Yeah. And in the meantime, somewhere in there, I met my now husband.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. And then that all moved very quickly. It was definitely meant to be.
Yeah, as good things do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got hitched, and 9 months later had our first baby.
Nice. Good for you guys.
9 months and a day. Just so you know, it was legit.
Like you take a sip at the timing just to let us marinate.
Mm-hmm. Just so that 9 months and a day. Maybe.
Let the audience read into that, but I won't. We'll carry on. Yeah.
Yeah. So I stepped away from pond hockey. Stepped away. Well, summer games were over, but
Right.
yeah, we made the decision to have one of us at home, and he was earning the bread, and I was happy to do it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So pumped 3 of them out. You're
Like,
not a
Jess,
father.
I can't even. I can't.
I love non-parents.
How could you tell? Oh no, I can't
How
even.
awkward can I make you feel
can't
today?
even. I can't.
Okay.
And people do this. Like my mother does this to me too,
Ah.
and like similar, because obviously she has kids and I don't. So when she says those, yeah, thanks, mom. Yeah, I know she's gonna listen.
I know your mom. Did you know I know your mom?
I did know.
Ah, okay.
I did. Because she got like 7 people who she knows on Instagram. You happen to be one of them. So I'm like, well, and the jab there. Take that. But yeah,
Hey, Mom.
amazing. But yeah, it does that to me often. Where it's like, well, the only reason you have a younger brother is because you decided to take a nap when you were 3. I was like, well, all right. And then
That's not very nice.
really uncomfortable for me. Not so much now, but back then,
Just
yeah.
gonna squirm here a little
Yeah.
bit. Okay.
But I don't know where to go from there.
Had 3 kids.
Yeah.
And like one after the other. So I hated being pregnant. It sucked. So like, okay, we're gonna get this over with.
Nice.
And 3 was the number. I think I had a timeline on that. If the 3rd one wasn't happening before a certain month or whatever, and the 2 of them had to be like 3 school years apart, I was like, no, this isn't gonna happen.
Oh, interesting.
But Aaron made it.
Yeah.
So 3 kids, and it was just like nose to the grindstone. Like you lose all sense of self. It's all about survival and getting through those young years. It's not easy. And my husband Sean was traveling quite a bit and working long, unpredictable hours. So there was no opportunity for me to dive back into the life that was.
Right.
Yeah, and that was okay. I accepted that,
for sure.
knowing that in a few years, our youngest was going to be in kindergarten, and I'd have those 6 hours a day.
Right.
So my youngest got to kindergarten, and Sean and I went to Eddie's for celebratory Caesars.
Nice.
Breakfast Caesars.
Right on.
Delicious.
Let's go.
And then 5 months later, they were all back home. And I went,
That close.
just as I was coming up for air, starting to breathe my own life again. They were all back home, so I didn't do well with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was like recently. Yeah, that was like 2020.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
that brings us to photography.
Mm-hmm.
It was really that fall that I've always taken photos.
Right.
I just always enjoyed it. But people started asking me to take photos for them. I'm like, okay. If you want. That's weird, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did, and didn't charge much. And then more people asked. So I'd up it a little bit.
Yeah.
Every time, dip my toes, see what came of it. And it just kept growing and growing and growing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What I find really interesting about that is, what kind of made you go? Was it literally just a handful of people asked you one day and you're like, really?
Mm-hmm.
There's no, I'd always seen myself doing this, or like it was always, or was it just as?
Well, yeah, it was kind of one of those things where you say, oh my gosh, be a professional photographer, that'd be amazing! But who can pay the bills as a professional photographer? It's hard.
Yeah,
it is hard.
It has to be
and
good.
I do not pay all our bills with photography, so I come at it from an extremely privileged position.
Yeah, no
I do.
kidding.
I'm the first to admit that. So I can take the jobs that I can, that I can fit in around Sean's schedule, around the kids' schedule,
Oh, for sure.
and at the same time maintain a sense of self.
Mm-hmm.
And a sense of accomplishment. And
Very tricky.
yeah, it is. The stay-at-home mom gig is a tricky one. So is the working mom gig. It's all tricky.
Anything?
Have kids, it's tricky.
Yeah, I was gonna say, right on to your point, Jess. I was gonna say anything with mom, either before or after.
Yeah.
Working mom, doing this. Mom, probably gonna be a challenge.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
I can't fathom being a working mom and having to navigate daycare and being home on time to get them fed and off to activities and it's all.
I think what's good too about like what I really like about your story is how you have like you need like you're like I found something, right? Because I'm curious because I know there's people who like their whole thing is being a mom, but then as the kids get older, it's like they need to.
Yeah.
It's like you need something for you that you can do, right?
Yeah.
You have all this energy, this passion, this knowledge. Gotta funnel it somewhere, right?
Yeah. I think it's
Super
very important.
Yeah.
To find something for yourself as a human outside the realm of mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding. Nice.
Yeah. Some people can do it.
Yeah.
Some people. What? I feel like my mom was born to mom.
Yeah. Some people.
Yeah. No, I didn't inherit it.
No, you're like it's probably skipping a generation.
I love my kids. I love my kids, but hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
This evening
I love
without
it.
them.
Amazing.
And I'm absolutely love
yeah,
it.
which I'm grateful for the time too. So awesome.
He
came up to me at an event. This was like a couple years ago and was like, "Hey, this is like when I first started. This is like the first thing was this guy showed up at this event and I didn't know him, but he goes, "Hey, Glenn." And I was like, "Yeah, man." And I swear to God, I wish I was making this up, but he goes, I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" He's like, "Hey, man, like, my name's Kyle. What's going on? Nice to meet you." I was like, "Nice to meet you too. What's going on?"
Want my autograph?
Yeah, what's going on here? And he's like, "Dude, I've seen your show." I was like, "No, you haven't, dude." I gave him a big hug. I was like, "This is my guy. What's going on, man?" I was like, "How are you?" And he's like, "Man, I love what you're doing. I work in like youth development with whatever." And I was like, "That's amazing, man."
Very cool.
And then I was like, you know what? And then I couldn't get through the door on the way out because my head was just
absolutely. I get it.
This big. Yeah.
On that note, we were talking earlier about Matt Bonet.
Yeah, good friend of both of ours.
Yeah, yeah.
Colleague, friend, client.
Colleague, friend, client.
Inspirational
idol.
Gentleman. Yeah, no kidding, eh?
Right?
No kidding.
I know.
No kidding.
He's crazy. He's the first to admit he's crazy.
Yeah.
But I went to Little Current to see him off on his 350-kilometer mission to swim around Manitoulin.
Absurd.
I know. Absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
But he comes out. We were having ice cream at the 2 Cows and a Cone on the day before, and he says, "You won't believe this. The receptionist at the hotel just asked me for my autograph."
Let's go.
You made it. You made it, Matt. I think I just kicked your camera. Nope.
That's all right.
Sorry.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah. Very cool.
It's one of those things that kind of shows you, like, I was taken out of my element, but it gives you that, like, sense of, like, wow, what I'm doing is actually kind of becoming something of substance, and it's a blast. And the fact that you're having fun and you're like, you're just eating ice cream and somebody's like, "Oh, what's up?" So all this stuff that you've done, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. So these conversations I was having with my friends.
Yeah.
I don't know why I quote friends, weird thing, but anyways, yeah. So all these
they're just friends, but turning into idols.
Right? And so like all these people, I'm like, oh, I'm just chatting with some friends of mine, and you guys are like, oh, we like the topic. I'm like, I don't know how you heard about this, but thank you. Thank you very much. So
it is very cool to build something for yourself and to see it grow and flourish, and for people to buy into what you're doing, literally and figuratively. It's, it's rewarding, and to have something reward me outside of "I love you, Mom."
Yeah,
which are great. I love those.
I can imagine. Yeah,
they're pretty swell.
So I'm sure, because I've experienced this as well, and you kind of mentioned it in like the chat we had before, I think today or yesterday, but about imposter syndrome, because that's a topic of conversation I have with friends of mine a lot, because we're in this weird phase of we want to create something, right? And I'm curious your thoughts on this for sure with your experiences, but for myself and my friends being in our like mid to late 20s, we're trying to create something, right?
Babies.
Yeah. That's good, we have time.
You do.
So
there's always time.
I was sweating
There's always time.
So I'm glad to hear that. But what I'm find us talking about a lot is with the imposter syndrome is we're young, right? So trying to find and create something bigger and better than kind of like, or bigger than ourselves, with like this big vision of an impact, and like whether it be fame, money, whatever you crave, right? Different for a person, whatever. But you kind of look at it as you go, and you almost feel, you're like, why do people, like, why would somebody watch this, or why would somebody listen? Like, what is the substance behind you, or like, what have you done? This is the question I found myself reflecting on a lot personally, is like, what have you done that makes you worthy of listening to? And that's a tough one. I write it down, I do my own thing with it for figuring out, but that's where the kind of imposter thing goes on, where how do you build something that isn't anything yet, and you just have to find, it's basically what you could think of in here and go, I'm gonna project this and see what, like, I'm gonna cast this big net out and see what I can reel back.
I think the word is overused, and it's going to sound fairly cliche at this point, but it's authenticity.
Amazing, yeah.
No, it is, but I think the word is overused.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think hashtag authentic has taken on a new meaning, and we've actually moved far, far away from our authentic selves, and we're doing these podcasts, and we're on the Instagram, and the Instagram. Oh my god.
You feel old when you say it like that?
Yeah. Yeah, that was bad. But portraying these realities that are so far from reality. Yeah. So when you do something like this and you're having open, honest conversations with real people, people can connect with that. And especially like people from your community.
Right.
So it's community connection. Mm-hmm. And over the last couple of years, we've certainly lost that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right, so trying to find a way to kind of bring it all back together. Yeah. Like, hey, this is what we missed, but this is how we can go about it. Because now we're so divided, and now it's just, what thing are we going to be divided about this week?
Yeah. So
nuts.
Projects like yours, and missions like Matt's, the number of people he's brought together in the name of MS is absolutely incredible, because he's come at it from a very authentic, very open, very honest perspective. And to that point, I think my photography does the same thing. Well, I try to do the same thing.
No, absolutely.
I don't. I like to tell people that if you're into the posies and the Insta shots, I'm not.
Don't call me.
No. You can call me. I'd love to chat. But...
Fair.
Hey, if a photographer and a client aren't on the same page, it's terrible for everyone.
Yeah, not a good start.
No, absolutely not.
What I was going to say too about your style, not just that I could just not have done nearly enough market research, but I don't see anybody doing the same niche as you. And at the same time, I could be like blinded for the market in it, but I see everybody and their dog have like a photography account, whatever. Now, on that, every one of those people take wedding photos. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed something, correct me if I'm wrong, that doesn't seem to be a thing you do. Which is why I like when you say authentic, and I'm like, every photographer that I know of, minus you, again, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't do that.
You're half wrong.
Okay.
I have shot weddings.
Yeah.
And so many people ask that I did actually include wedding services section on my website.
Okay, dope.
But I call it nano nuptials. Small weddings.
That's cool. Yeah.
And the first line in my explainer is, I am not a wedding photographer.
No.
Yeah. So I go on in my spiel about...
That's great.
Oh, if you're framing your day around the photos, I'm probably not the photographer for you. Yeah. But if you want your day captured as it naturally unfolds
on the day,
in a more like documentary style,
more unique experience.
Yeah. Well, every wedding is a unique experience.
Right. It all seems to be the same, though, right? That's what I'm getting at, right? That's why where I'm like, everybody does wedding photos. Everybody does like them.
But it's hard.
Ring looks like.
That's hard to That's hard to say
Yeah.
on your website, though.
Right. I think you nailed it with your, like, this is, I may not be for you if this
Oh, yeah.
is what you want.
But if you're still reading.
Yeah. And
Let's
we
chat.
got something.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And honestly, like, some of those wedding shoots have been my favorite shoots.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because the bride, the groom, the family, they're in the moment. They're not focused on where they have to be next. They're not rushing off to the, oh, see, I don't even know what all the shots are. The first look and the...
What?
We good?
Is that a thing?
It's a
First
thing.
look?
Yeah.
What is
Well,
that? You said it and I was just, what?
Oh, yeah, I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
But the idea is the bride and groom have a private moment to themselves before the wedding.
Right.
So they can kind of get their tears over with.
Like be in the moment with each
and,
other.
and enjoy each other with a photographer in their face. Hey, I'm not bashing it. It's not for me. And I like I said, you want to be on the same page as your photographer.
I guess so. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Probably the way to,
the
right idea.
Yeah. I like to say the photographer plays an intimate role in your day, but I kind of try to do the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
I stay back.
Now, so I know it's only been like a couple of years now, but have you had like a favorite experience or a cool project that you've been able to work on that you kind of, because I've found myself kind of sitting back and like I'm almost at episode 100 of the show, so I'm doing this on like kind of reflecting back, and I always come back to the question, how did I get here? You know, so I'm wondering, but that's in like a moment of like between being grateful and then it's like I'm proud, right? It's a pride moment. It's not like, oh, how did I get here? It's like, how did I get here? Like it's a good feeling, right? So I'm wondering if there was any moments that kind of in a project that you're working on that you're like almost like taken out of your element and going like, whoa, or that you look back on now even and go like, you know what, like I'm really glad that I got to be involved there.
Any one particular?
It could be a few. You got all the time in the world. I'm curious. Well, I do. You may not, but
my work with Kivy.
Oh yeah.
With Kivy Park has been very rewarding and fulfilling.
Oh, that's great.
Because it is great.
Yeah.
Because it's everything that I come from, the outdoors and the sports and the activity and the nature and I get to combine my relatively newfound art and do it in a place I love with people who are happy to be there, and the park keeps calling me back.
That's good.
Yeah.
Right?
Park keeps calling me back. I get to see my photos on websites and marketing materials. Yeah. But it's certainly not the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, which one was really cool? And actually, you kind of asked me earlier what was like the impetus. When did this all start? And I think my trip down to Snow Lab played a pivotal role.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was a really amazing experience.
Snow Lab, that's out in Lively, eh?
Yeah. 2 kilometers underground.
Jeez.
And I can't remember how far once you're down there, but it was a contest. You had to apply and you had to be selected, and they brought down I think 20 over the course of 2 trips, just to capture Snow Lab and participate in this international photography competition.
Jeez.
So I went down with a bunch of other professional photographers, and I was like intimidated out of my mind. But I held my own. The images I produced.
Damn right, let's go.
Stood up against the
Let's
others.
Go.
And
that's awesome.
So it was both an honor
to
be selected and to participate and to do it alongside all these other amazing photographers. And then awesome. It was just a real confidence booster to say, maybe I do have something, even though I didn't go to school for it, even though I didn't study for years, and my technical know-how is, it's growing. but yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. It's cool. That was like the driving moment that there was indeed one. That was like, yeah, we got something here.
Yeah. I mean, the physical experience of being down there was something, but
I bet.
To combine the science and art at the same time was really, really interesting.
Do you have, we talked about imposter syndrome, and I'm wondering if there's like an example of, is that something you battle with like now, or is that something that still?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's new.
I think I always will.
Yeah.
Last year, a friend of mine, Jillian Schultz, she's an artist, a local artist.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Yeah. She says, "Hey, Jess, I have some gallery space in October. Do you want to do a dual exhibition?"
Whoa, yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
I
Whatever
jumped
it is.
on it. Yeah, let's do it. And then I sat back and like, I have to fill half of a gallery with my work when most of my work is like documentary style people. I was freaking out. I was absolutely freaking out. So talk about imposter syndrome. Like I said, I grew up in sports and the outdoors.
Yeah.
So to dive headlong into the world of art was something else.
Different. Yeah.
Something else.
Wow.
But I had Jillian to hold my hand the whole time. So
amazing.
It was amazing. We made a pretty stellar team.
So cool. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I found enough images in my collection. Yeah.
Nice.
But it's time to go get some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
need enough downtime.
Fair enough. Yes, it was that segues perfectly. I'm wondering what projects do you have that you can kind of share that you're like looking to build or looking kind of to let's steer in this direction, or they all kind of just sporadically come up and you just jump on opportunities.
At the moment, I'm. That's okay. Taking what's coming and not pushing for more. My husband fell off a cliff in February, skiing out west. So.
And you were there?
I was not there.
No?
I was not there. He was there with his brother, his cousin, and a bunch of buds. But yeah, I was traversing a ridge to get to a chute to drop in from this landing zone, and on the way, just this little doop-de-doop, nothing thing over to this staging area, he popped a binding and slid left instead of skiing right, and launched himself over a 300-foot cliff. And lived to talk about it.
Insane.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely insane. The guys thought he was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of them were sprinting up the mountain to get him. Some of them were skiing down and around, and
no kidding.
Yeah, until they heard his voice, they thought he was a goner. So, I get the call from my brother-in-law. He says, "So my goofy brother took a little spill. We've got him in emerge now. Think he might have broken his leg above the boot, but he's telling dirty jokes to the nurses, so it's all good. It's all good."
Oh, really downplays it.
Oh yeah. And at this point, I'm just pissed because Sean's screwed up another family vacation. I was supposed to fly with the kids a few days later. It's like that moron messed it up again. Because there had been a few prior.
Yeah.
Of course. And then the reality started to trickle in, and I rebooked my flight out. Yeah, he ended up in Kelowna. This happened in Golden.
Yeah.
He ended up being airlifted to Kelowna.
Oh, nice.
Where the most available orthopedic surgeon was.
Yeah.
They wouldn't fly him to Calgary. They would not transfer him across the border because of COVID policy. It's not that he had COVID. It was just COVID policy.
Ugh.
No interprovincial transfers. So, major trauma center, closest hospital, best orthopedic surgeons, and they cherry-picked all these little communities in interior BC. Oh, it's disgusting.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's horrendous.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But...
Jeez. Oh, I'm glad it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Spent 11 days with him in Kelowna. fighting tooth and nail to get a flight home.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
But finally made it happen.
Yeah.
And welcomed home to HSN with like red carpet.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Awesome.
But talk about community.
Yeah, no kidding. For sure.
The silver lining in all of this is that we had no idea how deep our community ran. And it was pretty spectacular to see the support and the love and the something that we wouldn't have received had we not been contributors to our community and treated people with the kindness and the respect that we'd like to be treated with. So
yeah, no kidding.
We will continue to pay it all forward.
That's amazing. And it feels like that's so important that I don't think and it's tough now because I think we need that more than ever.
Absolutely.
Right? But yeah, like I said, it's tougher now.
Absolutely.
There's still there's restrictions. We need it more, but it's harder to do.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've got some stuff working in that. You'll see how it goes, but there's some stuff that's got to be done.
So that's why the business is taking a backseat.
Yeah.
We're just finding our new normal. I mean, he's great.
Mm-hmm.
He's on his feet.
Nice.
Just not stable. But
Yeah.
he's on his feet.
Fair enough.
Yeah, too much. So he's backtracking a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, sit down. Just stop. But this guy, he
That's
can't
awesome.
stop.
Yeah, it's true. We, as men, we have a habit of that. Yeah.
So I've heard.
It's a sit still thing. It just doesn't really exist.
Yeah. So, like I said, I come at my profession from a very privileged position, in that I can take the breaks when I need to, and take care of my family, and take care of myself. Definitely lost my mind
Can't
more than
forget
a few times
one.
through all that.
Yeah, I bet. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stressful. Oh man.
For sure.
But
And here we are.
I'm wondering, Jess, if in looking back on everything that you have kind of like a big overarching lesson that you learned or something from your time that's kind of, it could like a feedback or something you can give in terms of to the audience of a lesson you learned or a piece of wisdom that's kind of stood the test of time, whether that be in starting something new or being a mom or anything like that, or just making decisions based on passion and stuff.
I don't think you can make decisions based purely on passion. It's just that's risky.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
There's got to be some logic and some semblance of a plan behind it. But do it. Yeah. Do it for yourself. Do it as yourself. Don't try to pretend to be someone you're not or something you're not. I say that, but I did have to pretend to be a photographer before I could actually call myself.
I think you have to fake it till you make it, and there's the whole authenticity part of it. But I think doing that is you need those kind of lessons and those experiences in order to kind of actually figure out that's something that you can do, and then once you develop it, you get more comfortable. I was very different the first time doing this than now.
I'm sure.
It's be way easier, be yourself, loosen up, conversations are better, everything's just,
I was much more likely to shit my pants at my first photo shoot than I am now.
Amazing. Onwards and upwards, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. So I'm going to roll out the red carpet for you now. So tell everybody into the microphone and to the camera, where can they find you? Where can they work with you? Where can they get their photos taken? Where can they see you, train with you, swim with you? Anything.
Oh, swim with me. Yeah. I'm always looking for swim buddies. You can find me at jessmcsshane.ca. But I will take photos with you and of you anywhere. That's the best part.
Amazing.
That's the best part. I love going to wherever you are comfortable.
Awesome.
It makes for more authentic photos.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and I do much of what we're doing here. Shoot the shit.
Easy.
Make the kids comfortable. Make the adults comfortable. They're often the hard ones.
Yeah, it seems a little more of a challenge.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm online and on most of the platforms. I can't do the TikTok. We've established I'm dated. I can't I tried.
We can get into later about what I think about all that stuff, about being smoke and mirrors and whatever, but I got a really funny story for you in regards to that, but it's not relevant for this. So, yeah, awesome. So I'm really grateful you're able to share your story today. I love hearing people's stories, and I know from just what people who I know you, the people only have the best things to say. So I was like, wow. I want to hear what she has to say. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for
worries.
my first podcast experience.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm really grateful for your time. I know you are limited with it. So I appreciate you sharing some of it with me today.
Man, this is fun.
Right on. Awesome. Thanks, Jess.